Before watching this video, guys, make sure you have checked out my For the Good versus the Bad videos for Adaman, Irida, Eusine, and Sygna Silver, as this will be an abridged version of the 4. And with that said, with all the info that we know about these 4 sync pairs, who should we scout for? Let's find out in this video. So with that said, strap on your seatbelts, sit tight, and let's begin the discussion. Here we go! Yo, this is Solo, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX. And guys, if you're here, before we continue, make sure you hit the thumbs up button right now for the YouTube algorithm for luck in scouting for these 4 sync pairs. And you know, they're here already. Adaman has been around, Irida has been around for quite a while now, while Eusine and Silver are not yet available, but we have discussed them already in their individual The Good versus the Bad videos. So if you haven't seen them yet, check them out because I will not be repeating most of what I have said in those videos. This will be a shorter version of those 4 videos. And also, guys, you know, we have finally reached 10k. So we're not asking for 10k now, we're asking for 30k, triple the amount. So, make sure if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button. And I know a lot of you are waiting for my giveaway video details. So, stay tuned. I have been, you know, lack of sleep for the entire week. So, I'm sorry that giveaway details will not be coming out yet as of this week. You'll have to wait next week where I come up with a video, the giveaway details. And we will be, you know, giving away stuff. Like, for example, this cap over here, I'll be shipping 1 or maybe 2, depending on how many people interact with that video, to you guys from all around the world. So you don't want to miss it. You can't get this cap anywhere now, except if you want to shell out a huge amount of money, because it's quite expensive now, because it's sold out everywhere in the Pokemon Center. So don't forget to leave your notifications on so that you don't get to miss my giveaway video once it comes out next week. And also, leave a comment right now and tell me who you are scouting for. If you have scouted for Adaman and Irida, let me know as well how many scout points you have used to scout for your first copy. Maybe you scouted for more than 1 copy. Let me know as well. I'll be interacting with your comments and trying to reply to most of, if not all of them, for the next several days. And you know, if you're scouting for Eusine or Silver, let me know as well. And we have a couple of reruns, so I'm gonna be discussing them a little bit in this video. So later on, if you're watching this as a premiere, rather, probably I'll be uploading this video after Sygna Morty return. So today, while I record this, later Sygna Morty will be returning. So sync pair that's returning, there's gonna be a rerun also of Sygna May, there's gonna be a rerun of Sygna N. I might discuss them partially here in this video. So, you know, just hang in there, sit tight. And if you care for only 1 copy, you can check out my 1 out of 5 or none out of 5 video, where I discuss each one in brief. But we'll be discussing each one in brief as well in this video. And I want to give a huge shout out first, my awesome members who have been supporting me before 10k, guys. Thank you so much for your support, all my members. You know, YouTube ad revenue, even if we've reached 10k, is not exactly high. And I want to thank you guys for supporting the channel monetarily because of the fluctuating YouTube revenue. And also, a huge shout out to my gifters who have been extra generous in gifting memberships to these awesome people. Thank you guys so much. And with that out of the way, let's begin. Alright, Adaman is already out. Irida is already out. Eusine is coming out next week. Is it already next week? Yes, it is. Oh my goodness, Eusine is coming out next week. And Silver is coming out 2 days after Eusine. So, yeah, let's quickly brief background on their respective things. Adaman and Irida are Master Fair Scouts. Master Fairs, again, the advantage is that you get more chances of scouting for 5-star sync pairs, random 5 stars. So if you haven't completed your Spotlight roster yet, you know, we have not gotten a new Spotlight since Shauna came out. So if you haven't gotten any of the Spotlights yet, missing some of them, you have a higher chance of getting your missing Spotlight Scout, or maybe any Spotlight Scout that you haven't maxed out yet. With Adaman and Irida's banners, there's a higher chance because 12% chance of getting a random 5-star. Although, it's not exactly low with Eusine and Sygna Silver as well, because there's a 10% chance of scouting for a random 5-star as well. Another advantage of Master Fairs, well, you get presents for your first 5 multi-pools. You get move candy coins, you get 5-star power-ups for the first 5 multi-pools. Meanwhile, the disadvantage of Poke Fairs is that you do not get any presents by scouting for Eusine / Sygna Silver. But the one disadvantage of Master Fairs is that their chances of getting them is not high. There's only a 1% chance scouting for Master Fair for the featured unit. Meanwhile, there's a 2% chance of getting Eusine / Sygna Silver when you scout for their respective banners. So there's a higher chance of not getting shafted with Sygna Silver and Eusine. There's a higher chance of getting shafted with Adaman and Irida. Let me know if you got shafted or not. And hopefully, you know, you all got at least 1 copy before scout points. That's already a win, guys. Getting more than 1 copy before scout points. If you got shafted like me with Adaman, well, high five, congratulations, and hopefully you got better luck with the other one. I got better luck with Irida, so thankfully we got better luck. And yeah, that's about it. Alright, quick discussion of each one. Adamant. Oh wait, before that, check out my gems, gem count if you haven't. So, there you go. We're not getting enough gems for 1 sync pair, but if you've been collecting gems, maybe we'll have enough to scout for 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe luckily for all 4 sync pairs without spending any gems, guys. Or without spending money on gems. Alright, quick background of everyone. Adamant and Leafeon is a tech sync pair that can debuff the opponent's rebuff. You know, if you use B-Razor Leaf, the opponents will get defense -1. And then if it is sunny, the opponents will get defense -2. By using B-Razor Leaf, you also give the opponents a grass type negative rebuff, making your grass type moves stronger. And then you are almost guaranteed always to land a critical hit because of his passive skill, Clutch Critical. And every single time you land a critical hit, you will have a free move next. It's very easy to max out Adaman. Just use your trainer move. Just use your attacks, and you should be able to max out your damage pretty much easily. As a Master Sync pair, he has a Master Passive which powers up everyone's physical attacks and increases everyone's physical defenses against the opponent's physical attacks. And every single time you bring out Adaman at the first part of the battle, start of the battle, the weather will be sunny because of time flows over his Sui passive skill. And every single time you use a sync move against the opponent using Adaman, the weather will be sunny again because of the same passive skill. And last but not the least, he is a tech sync pair. And as a tech sync pair, if you 6-star EX him, you'll be able to have your sync move powered up by 1.5 times damage. Now, as a Master Fair, he has max out. You can max him out with 3 copies. And with 2 copies, you got Insult to Injury and Leaf Blade Brawn Gain 2 as your attack move multipliers. Brawn Gain 2 gives you a physical moves up next effect, which powers up your moves or your attacks by 40% damage. Insult to Injury, the lower the opponent's defense is, the stronger your attack is gonna be. Meanwhile, 3 out of 5, you got Critical Strike 2, makes your normal attacks and sync moves stronger by 20%. You got multipliers for your sync move, Haymaker, the higher your attack stat is, which can be maxed out immediately by your trainer move. You get to power up your sync move. And Solar Flare 5, if it is sunny, you get to power up your sync move by 50% damage. Drought Alert 5 extends the duration of sun so that you can extend your sync move, your sun, to your next sync move if you have Drought Alert 5. Also, you can give yourself physical moves up next effect by 2 more stat ranks if you use Synthesis Mighty Physical Boost 9. Now, this sync pair can heal himself from Synthesis. So he has a healing, self-healing move, Synthesis, which recovers his HP by 60% if it is sunny. And if it is rainy, if it is hailing, if it is sandstorming, you recover 40% HP. And if there's no weather condition, you recover 50% HP. Which makes him tanky because he can raise his defense +4. So, overall, a very nice sync pair, which strong damage, can him heal himself, can raise his own defenses, can max out your stats, free move next, and give opponents negative grass type rebuff. Overall, very, very strong grass type sync pair. There's another grass type sync pair that's really, really powerful, and that is Sygna Suit Lyra. In terms of abilities, well, Sygna Suit Lyra can make the opponent flinch immediately. But the good thing about this one, guaranteed critical hit, guaranteed sun at start of the battle, free move next, free move next, free move next just by landing crits. So, very nice addition to your team. Plus, by inviting him, by scouting for him, you're able to invite Adaman to your trainer lodge and get Adaman plus VAPOREON, which if you haven't seen my feature video, I did a feature video for Adaman, Sygna Suit, Misty, and Variety Scout Lyra, who has a VAPOREON, does a triple VAPOREON showcase. It's nice, go check it out. Link, I'll put it in the description of this video. Next, we have Irida and Glaceon, an ice type tech sync pair. And this one only has one attacking move, which is Icy Wind. Icy Wind hits everyone, and lowers the opponent's speed stat. So lowers every opponent's speed stat -1. You have a buddy move, B-Ice Beam, you can use this only once. Adaman, you can use it twice. And when you use it, you lower the opponent's special defense -4 and a 10% chance of freezing the opponent. Gives you a free move next. Just gives you a free move next and gives you move gauge acceleration, speeds up the move gauge. This sync pair is the very first sync pair that gives you Ice Zone. And whenever you bring in Ice Zone using Ice Wish, because of her passive skill, Watch for Ice, you bring in Hailstorm as well. Which, you know, Hail powers up a lot of other ice type sync pairs as long as they have the multiplier Heavy Hail or Invigorating Hail. Invigorating Hail powers up your ice type normal attacks. Heavy Hail powers up your ice type sync move. So, the good thing about this sync pair is also, if it's hailing, every single sync pair that does not have Snow Shelter is also protected from damage from Hailstorm. So you will not get those irritating damage from Hailstorm. And whenever there's hail, it powers up your sync pairs. Every single one of your sync pairs gets powered up when there's hail. Forgot to mention Adaman. If it's sunny, it powers up Adaman's damage as well. Only Adaman gets powered up. Meanwhile, if it's hailing, Irida plus your teammates get powered up. She has a passive skill, Sinnoh Spirit, Master Passive powers up everyone's special attacks and powers up everyone's special defenses as long as the opponent uses a normal type attack against you. And then she has Vigilance, which protects you from critical hits. You have a trainer move, Shield to your core, which powers up your special attack +4 and maximizes your critical hit rate. And if it is healing, it gives everyone a gradual healing or a regen effect, which is pretty nice. And your Sing move gets powered up when it's healing. Now, as an Ice-type Sing pair, she has, Ice Zone powers up your Ice-type Sing move. And then, you get your Sing move, if there's Ice Zone, you also bring in Hail. So your Sing move gets powered up quite a lot. Ice Zone, Hail, and that's it. 2 multipliers immediately once you bring in Ice Zone, once you bring in Hail. Now, as a Master Passive, again, she maxes out at 3 copies. 1 copy, you get Invigorating Hail 5, which powers up your attacks when it's healing. And remember that your attacks are already powered up because of Space Spreads over Hisui passive skill. So multiplier immediately. You got 2 copies. You can max out your special attack by getting Shield to your core, ramp up 2. Take note that this Sing pair does not get any MP refresh. 3 out of 5, you got Arctic Arrival, which at the start of the battle brings in Ice Zone plus brings in Hailstorm. Got Brain Power. The higher your special attack is raised, the stronger your Sing move is gonna be. In order to max out your special attack stat, you'll have to get 2 out of 5 Shield to your core, ramp up 2, because your Shield to your core trainer move only maxes out at +4. So you'll have to get this in order to max out your special attack to +6, unless you want to bring in another support Sing pair to max out your special attack stat. And then you got Hail Alert 3 and Ice Zone Extension 3 if you want to extend the duration of your Ice Zone plus Hailstorm. You also got Hunter's Instinct. The lower the opponent's speed stat is, the stronger your normal attacks are gonna be. Now, she also works as a debuffer unit because of Mind Games 9 and Satisfied Snarl 9. So you can use her in several different ways. You can use her as a debuffer, you can use her as an Ice Zone setter / Hailstorm setter, or you can use her as your attacker, which makes pretty strong because of Space Spreads over Hisui, Invigorating Hail 5, Hunter's Instinct, or Sing Nuker, Brain Power, and again, her multipliers multiplied with Ice Zone plus multiplied with Hailstorm makes her pretty decent. Again, this is the very first Ice Zone unit in the game, and she's a tech Sing pair, meaning if you 6-star EX her, your Sing move will be powered up by 1.5 damage. So if you want an Ice Zone unit, here you go, the very first one. And remember, Irida will be added to the Trainer Lodge next month. So if you want an additional Sing pair, whoever that Sing pair is gonna be, Irida and maybe an evolution, maybe not. I will be surprised if they put in Espeon, since we're missing Espeon still. So Irida and Espeon, is that even possible? I don't know, but it might be possible. Highly an evolution because Adaman gets an evolution. Irida might get an evolution as well. So if you want another Sing pair, scout for Irida and maybe add her to your Trainer Lodge next month. Alright, Eusine and Suicune. This one, the very interesting Sing pair. This is a water type with an ice type attack. Your moves will never miss because of Piercing Gaze. And although Whirlpool is not accurate, Blizzard is not exactly accurate, you will never miss because of Piercing Gaze. And then you have Bee Surf. And Bee Surf will activate when you use 2 different moves. So probably use your trainer move and use Whirlpool, or just use 2 moves and Bee Surf will be unlocked. And Bee Surf does not have any MP. So you can spam Bee Surf, spam Bee Surf, spam Bee Surf. The problem is Bee Surf is 4 move gauges, unlike Irida, unlike Adaman, who only has like 2 move gauges, if I'm not mistaken, for their buddy move. But the good thing about this one is that he has a passive skill, Recharging Strike 9. After you hit the opponent, depending on how many opponents you hit, you recover as many move gauges. So if you hit 3 opponents using Blizzard, you recover 3 move gauges. If you hit 3 opponents using Surf, you get to recover 3 move gauges. If you use Whirlpool, you recover 1 move gauge back. So that is the advantage. You can recover your move gauge quickly. Also have Trap and Buff 5, which powers up your normal attacks or your sync moves if the opponent is trapped. So you'll have to use Whirlpool and Whirlpool on the opponent in order to trap them and, you know, deal lots of damage because of Trap and Buff 5. Chase continues, his passive skill, or his trainer move rather, maximizes out your special attack stat, maximizes your critical hit rate, and gives everyone a condition nullification effect so that you will not be hit by status conditions. Now, 2 different AoE attacks, 1 single target move. What can he do next? You know, 1 out of 5 you get nothing. 2 out of 5 you got super duper effective 5 for Blizzard, making your Blizzard ice type attack stronger. And if you trap the opponent, your Blizzard will be powered up 50%. With super duper effective 5, your Blizzard gets powered up 50% again. Double damage for Blizzard. Double down 2 if the opponent is weak to water. Again, water type attacks, he's a water type. Your sync move will be powered up. This is a striker. If you decide to 6-star EX him, he'll be able to hit every single opponent. Super victory if you are able to knock out an opponent using either Blizzard, either your sync move, either your B-Serve, either your Whirlpool. You will get super effective up next effect, which powers up either your ice type Blizzard or your water type's Whirlpool, B-Surf, or your sync move by 50%, 1.5 times damage if I'm not mistaken. 3 out of 5 you got brain power. The stronger your sync move or the stronger your special attack is, which you can max out immediately. The stronger your sync move is gonna be. Stationary target 3 if the opponent is trapped. Stronger damage. Super Sync 9, super effective up next after you use your sync move. Trap and Sync 5 is basically Trap and Buff 5 demoted only to work with the sync move. Weathered Warrior 3, if there's a weather condition, you'll get to strengthen your normal attacks, your sync moves by 30% damage. Take note that he cannot bring in rain, he cannot bring in any weather conditions. So if you want Weathered Warrior 3, you have to use another sync pair in order to power him up. Now, we've been talking about trapping the opponent. It's such a hassle trapping the opponent using Whirlpool. Now, as a Pokefair, he maxes out with 5 copies. So at 4th copy, you got Attack Trap 4, which gives you a 50% chance of trapping the opponent when you use an attack against the opponent. So you can use Blizzard, or you can use B-Surf, and there's gonna be a 50% chance of leaving the opponent trapped. If the opponent's trapped, your Trap and Buff 5 will power up your normal attacks and your sync moves by 50%. And it will also power up, you know, if the opponent is trapped, again, Trap and Sync 5 at 3 copies will also power up your sync move by 50%. So just by getting Attack Trap 4 and just by getting Trap and Sync 5, your sync move is gonna double in damage immediately if the opponent is trapped. Now, one thing to take note of is that, wow, that sounds like a lot of multipliers, but if you actually check out his stats, his special attack stat is at 288. And if you compare that with Irida, if you compare that with Adaman, Adamant's attack is 400 something, Irida's special attack is 400 something. Eusine's special attack stat is 288, which is quite low compared to the others, much lower. So he relies a lot on multipliers to strengthen himself. So if you want to make him as powerful as the others, you'll have to, you know, rely on the multipliers or bring in Rain. You know, Rain powers up your sync move damage. If you got the Weathered Warrior, it will also power up your sync move. So that's that, guys. Move level 5 out of 5 makes him an effective debuffer. So if the opponent is trapped, combining Attack, Trap 4 and Disarm 9 is a nice thing. If the opponent is trapped, or confused, or flinching, and you hit the opponent with any attack, you get to lower the opponent's attack and special attack stat -1. And you can keep doing this as long as the opponent is trapped, flinching, or confused. Keep on using AoE attacks against them. You know, use Blizzard or use B-Surf. You got Recharging Strike 9 to fill up your move gauge, refill your move gauge. You'll get to debuff the opponents all the way down. Special attack stat and attack stat goes all the way down. Now, if you prefer to rely on your free move next, you get a free move next. 50% chance of getting a free move next. With super free before, also max, also you can get this with 5 copies. If you use an attack that the opponent is weak to, you have a 50% chance of giving yourself a free move next. Eusine. This is Eusine. And while he is not yet out, we cannot say for sure how strong / how weak he is or how effective he is. What I can say right now is Eusine is very good at 4 copies. 4 copies because Attack Trap 4 just makes your life way easier rather than just using Whirlpool. That is such a pain. And you know, Whirlpool trap damage, trap condition is not permanent. So getting him 4 copies, just make sure that the opponents get trapped. And get trapped all the time. If you have 5 copies, then that's even better. Every single time you attack an opponent, you will lower the opponent's special attack and attack stat. So he is a very nice sync pair. Probably don't keep looking at that special attack stat. It's just disappointing. But if you're looking for a nice water type or even an ice type, he can max out his stats easily. You know, not a lot of water type sync pairs can max out their special attack stat immediately. Yes, there's one. There is Sygna Lysander has his trainer move. But then you have whatchamacallit, I forgot the name of the attack. Your burning type water attack, I forgot, I don't want to check out my game anymore, hits only 1 opponent. But you can use him for a fire type damage. Heat Wave hits everyone. You have B Hydro Pump with Sygna Lysander, which Steam Eruption, now I remembered. Steam Eruption can hit 1 opponent. It's very strong for move gauge attack for Sygna Lysander. And then you have B Hydro Pump, which you can use only once though. Only once, but it hits every single opponent with very strong water type damage. This one, AoE water type, max out your special attack stat. Let me try and remember. Archie is an AoE water type attacker, but raising his special attack stat requires you to use a lot of trainer moves. Even raising your crit requires you to use another trainer move. May requires you to use your trainer move, requires it to rain to get stronger, and you get to Mega Evolve. You know, once you Mega Evolve, that's when you become strong. So May takes quite a lot of time as well. Let's not talk about Barry, he's pretty weak unless you have other supports to help you out. Barry is just so outdated. Who else? Sygna Grimsley takes a while. He's a physical type, but he does not get AoE damage. Who else do we got? You know what? Let me just check my game right now. Check out my game. What water type we have that can do AoE damage? We have a lot of ice types that can do AoE damage. So I'm not gonna talk about the ice type, but then you get to max out your special attack stat immediately. My game just crashed. Hiya. But water types, we don't exactly get a lot of water type AoE attackers. Yes, we got a lot of strong ones. We got Dojo Gloria, but then that only hits one opponent. We got Champion Serena, which only hits one opponent using Water Shuriken, but it's very strong, but it's only one opponent. Eusine just hits everyone. My game will not cooperate, so maybe we'll discuss that later. So, again, AoE special attacker, which can max out his special attack stat immediately. That's Eusine. Lots of multipliers, but the good thing is, or the bad thing, the good thing, whatever you want to look at it, what angle you want to look at it, you get 4 copies and he becomes awesome. If he's less than 4 copies, not gonna be that great. Alright, now my game open. So Steam Eruption for Sygna Suit Lysander. You got Sygna Suit, or rather Lyra with Vaporeon, which takes forever to max out his special attack stat. You got Whalmer, which you can use special attack stat, takes forever as well. Elio, AoE. That's actually it. That's actually it. There's not a lot of AoE attackers. There's no other water type AoE attacker which can max out your special attack stat immediately. Eusine is the sync pair you're looking for if you want instant power. Instant power. Last but not the least, we have Sygna Suit Silver and Sneasel. And this one is an interesting one. Your triple axle, you have to raise your accuracy. You can raise your accuracy using your sync grid, but you can only max out your accuracy at 95%. Even your body move B triple axle is not, you cannot max out your accuracy to 100% unless you got pinpoint entry 2, which you can get in his sync grid as well. What this does is that triple axle powers up, hits 3 times in a row as long as it does not miss. Every single time you attack, gets stronger and stronger. B triple axle, the same thing. And if you attack the opponent successfully, you get to lower the opponent's speed stat -1 because of Tripping Strike 9. By hitting 3 times in a row, you get to lower the opponent's speed stat -3. You want to use B triple axle as early as possible because this will only be unlocked if your HP is full. So either recover yourself if you are damaged, or use this as your first move because you are basically, by using this, you get to lower your sync move countdown -1 and you get to raise your critical hit rate +1 every single time you hit the opponent. So if you hit 3 times, you get to max out your critical hit rate, you get to lower your sync move countdown -3. And that's how you want to start using Sygna Suit Silver. You get to use X Speed Plus twice, which maxes out your speed stat. And because of X Speed Plus, once you raise your speed stat, Inertia will power up your sync move damage. The lower the opponent's speed stat is, your sync move will get powered up more and more. So you want to lower the sync move, the opponent's speed stat, -6 in order to max out the opponent or your sync move damage. So, very easy. Again, 1 copy of this sync pair gets you 2 multipliers max out. 2 good multipliers. Inertia, the higher your speed stat is, your built-in sync move multiplier. The lower the opponent's speed stat is, maximum damage. You got Adrenaline 2 as well, which lowers your sync move countdown -2 after you use your sync move. And you got I Won't Leave You, which raises your attack stat +3. So you have to use this twice in order to max out your attack stat. Not as instant as Eusine, which powers up your special attack stat immediately to +6, as well as raise your critical hit rate. This one takes a little bit of setup. You have to use 2 I Won't Leave Yous, 2 X speeds, 2 triple axels, either B triple axel or triple axel, in order to max out your sync move multipliers. But then he gets very good sync move multipliers with this sync pair with just 1 copy. Now, sync grid, 1 copy gets you Snow Shelter, 2 copies gets you those things, 3 copies gets you the multipliers. Cakewalk, the lower the opponent's speed stat is, the stronger your sync move. Again, a very good multiplier. Heavy Heal 5, if it is healing, stronger sync move damage, good multiplier. Super Command 9, after you use a trainer move, gets you a super effective up next effect, multiplying your sync move by 1.5 times damage. Also gets some attack move multipliers, Hunter's Instinct, Invigorating Heal 5, and Mighty Rush 9. Again, pinpoint entry 2 at 3 copies in order to guarantee that you will not miss your B triple axel or your triple axel. And as a support or as a Pokefair, also got 4 out of 5 and 5 out of 5 grids. 4 out of 5, basically every single time you hit an opponent, raise your evasiveness stat plus 1. And then Punishing Strike 4, 50% chance of lowering the opponent's defense minus 1 every single time you hit the opponent using BR or using triple axel. And then 5 out of 5, you got Soften Up 1, guarantees a critical hit for your sync move, and randomly lowers a stat for the opponent if you use triple axel or B triple axel. You also got Restoring Strike 1 if you use 3 out of 5. If you get this, you have a 20% chance of recovering a little bit of HP every single time your triple axel lands. Now, this sync pair is very, very strong as a sync nuker. In fact, as an attacker, this sync pair is also very strong. This is a physical sync pair. He also relies on debuffing the opponent, debuff. So this sync pair is very interesting. But then you cannot max out your crit again unless you got pinpoint entry. So, an option I will recommend to you guys if you want to scout for him, maybe you want to consider scouting for Sygna Suit N instead. Sygna Suit N is returning, and his debuffing abilities are also very good. After you use your, I forgot what sync move or what attack Sygna Suit N's move is. Let me just quickly check. Sygna Suit N's attack is called Freeze Shock. It's a 2-turn attack, which is the disadvantage of Sygna Suit N. But if you're looking for a proven strong sync pair, in fact, out of all the sync pairs, out of all the ice type sync pairs we have right now, Sygna Suit N has the strongest sync nuke damage. I'm not sure how Sygna Suit Silver compares with Sygna Suit N, but Sygna Suit N's sync move damage tops everyone, including Irida. And then you get to lower not only the opponent's speed stat, but you also lower the opponent's attack stat and special attack stat -2 if you use his B Noble Roar, his buddy move. So, that's an option that I will recommend to you if you're looking for Sygna Suit Silver. You know, this is all just theory right now. We can say that Sygna Suit Silver is strong with 1 copy, but I can also say that Sygna Suit N is also strong with 1 copy, plus he gets to debuff the opponent's important offensive skills, of offensive stats with B Noble Roar rather than just lowering the opponent's speed stat. You get to lower the opponent's attack, special attack, and speed stat -2 with Sygna Suit N. Meanwhile, you only get to lower the opponent's speed stat with Sygna Suit Silver until you get to 4 copies, which you start to lower the opponent's defense, and 5 copies, you get to lower the opponent's random stats. I know a lot of you are not scouting 5 copies of Sygna Suit Silver, so if you're just planning to scout for 1 copy, for the multipliers, yes, Sygna Suit Silver might be good, but overall, Sygna Suit N might be better. If you want a debuffer, if you want a strong sync pair, Sygna Suit N might be better than Sygna Suit Silver. Plus, Sygna Suit N is also a physical attacker. for ice types. Sygna Suit Silver is a physical attacker for ice types. Sygna Suit N is also a physical attacker. But if you're looking for an AoE attacker, well, Eusine is the sync pair you're looking for because Blizzard hits everyone. Or maybe, you know, Irida is a Master Fair. So in my opinion, you should maybe scout for the Master Fairs first than the Poke Fairs. Because Master Fairs give you Master Passives. Which Master Passives are very helpful. It powers up the entire team rather than just yourself. So by getting Adaman and getting Irida, you get to power the entire team. Irida also has space spreads over Hisui, so as long as it's healing, gets to power up your team even more, basically like 2 master passives, basically. And then Hail, you know, Hail gets damages normally your entire team, which does not have Snow Shelter, but space spreads over Hisui protects your team from from hailstorm damage. Plus, she can bring an Ice Zone, makes your ice types even stronger. So if you're looking for a sync pair to scout, either Eusine or Sygna Suit Silver as your ice type, maybe consider Irida instead because Irida is overall the meta ice type because of all those things, plus her stats are not bad. But again, don't let me stop you. Because if they are your favorite characters, then ignore Irida, just throw her out, just scout for your favorites. Don't care about the meta, as I always say. Grass-type sync pairs, there are a lot of other grass-type sync pairs. But Adaman is the first grass-type sync pair that can bring in grass-type rebuff. There are other sync pairs that can bring in a grass-type rebuff, like for example, Cosplay Steven. If the opponent is weak to grass-type moves, that is. But if the opponent is not weak to grass-type moves, well, only Adaman can bring in that grass-type rebuff. And Adaman is overall strong and guarantees you critical hits all throughout. Plus, brings in Sun, brings in Sun, brings in Sun. So, again, if you want 2 sync pairs, scout for them too, because you also get them in Trainer Lodge, and you can get another sync pair in your Trainer Lodge. But now we talk about these 2. Whatchamacallit, Eusine is very powerful when relying on multipliers. Without the multipliers, he's just horrible. But you get to recover your move gauge quite quickly because of recharging Strike 9. And 4 copies is the ideal number of copies you want because of Attract Trap 4. You don't have to use Whirlpool anymore. Just use Blizzard or just use Beast Surf, and that's enough. And 5 copies just makes him a beast in terms of debuffing. Sygna Suit Silver, well, as long as you have another sync pair to raise your accuracy, because honestly, pinpoint entry is hard to get. So as long as you got another sync pair to raise your accuracy, we have a very old sync pair with accuracy up, X accuracy, all, and that is Lily. Just bring in Lily together with you in your team and guarantee that your normal attacks, your B triple axel, your triple axel is gonna hit all the time, and you are able to maximize your multipliers immediately. But it takes quite a while to set up his multipliers. Meanwhile, this sync pair, very easy multipliers. Use your sync move or use your trainer move. Get Attack Trap 4. Maybe use Blizzard. If you're lucky, that will trap the opponent immediately. And that's all the sync move preparations you have to get. 2 turns, maximum multipliers for Eusine. Silver, 6 turns at least. 2 trainer moves, 2x speed plus, triple axel and B triple axel, or just use triple axel. That's how you maximize Silver's or Sygna Suit Silver sync move damage. As for the others, well, as long as it's sunny, as long as it's hailing, as long as there's Ice Zone, get to power themselves up. Now, let's check out their stats very quickly. Again, Eusine has the highest HP stat, lowest offensive stat. Sygna Suit Silver has the highest speed stat, Adaman has the highest defense and the highest physical attack. Irida has the highest special defense and the highest special attack stat. And overall, in terms of multipliers, I have discussed this already with you guys earlier. If you want to look at the numbers, I did not include any numbers here because some of them are pretty complicated. Like for example, Eusine has Weathered Warrior 3 but cannot bring in Weather. Sygna Silver has Invigorating Hail 5, has Heavy Hail, but cannot bring in Hailstorm. Meanwhile, Adaman and Irida are self-sufficient, so I did not count the numbers. But if you want to check out the numbers, feel free to check out my the good versus the bad videos for each one of them. But I think I have said enough about all these sync pairs. Again, faves over the meta. And who should you scout for again? Well, Adaman and Irida should most, for starting players. Your Master Fair should be your priority. Because, well, they're good. And their Master Passives and Ice Zone is pretty much good. But if you want to ask me who you should start with, well, probably Irida is a nice start. Then probably Adaman. Then let's say maximum copies, alright? Eusine should be your next one because 5 out of 5 is a beast, 4 out of 5 is great. And Sygna Silver probably is the last out of the bunch because for one, you cannot max out your accuracy stat. You have to use another sync pair to max out your accuracy. Unless, again, you got Pinpoint N3, which is a pain to get if in terms of the sync grid, which you will see in my the good versus the bad videos. But then he's very strong if you're able to max out his multipliers. If you got 3 copies, he also is a very good debuffer at 5 copies. But then the buffer cannot stack up with Sync Nuker in terms of that build. As for the others, that's that. Let me know who you are scouting for in this update. And let me know your priority list, your tier list as of this update. Again, my number 1 is Irida, number 2 is Adaman, number 3 is Eusine, considering 5 out of 5. And number 4 is Sygna Silver. But I love Sygna Silver's outfit. It's pretty cool. So with that said, guys, that is the end of my June 2023 pairs who to scout for video. I think next month, I'm gonna retitle this. Because I will do this video last, just like how I did this month. I'm gonna discuss each one first, and I'm just gonna make this a summary. So, let me know if I did well. And thank you again for 10,000 subscribers. Let's get to 30k. And for those who are waiting for my giveaway video, it's gonna come out next week. But this is one of my giveaways, a brand new one, not this one, unless you want my sweat, sus. And yeah, that's basically it. Thank you to all the gift memberships from these awesome gifters. Thank you guys so much for the extra generosity. And if you want to support my channel even further, you can check out the join button down below and hit the join button, become a member of my channel just like these awesome people. But you can help out the channel right now by hitting the thumbs up if you haven't done so, and subscribing to the channel as we reach our goal of 30k subs. Let's get to 30k, not 20, 30. Let's jump. And thank you to Shadow Phil, Alcin, Roy, Luca, Jeremy for 2 years of subs, 2 years of membership. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to Sasri Ambrion and Ewiz for 1 year. Thank you Marokman for Ultra Ball. Thank you Aurora Espion and Yuki Murasaki for Great Ball. Thank you Premier Bolshido. And thank you to my other Pokeball tier members. Tatsuya Gold. I think that's Apsaras, sorry. Pokefriendo and Edward. Thank you guys so much for Pokeball tier members. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. And with that said, this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, your artist Team Skull Grunt. I will see you. I'm so tired of talking. I talked for like 49 minutes straight in the next video. See you in the next one. Rawr.